that hadn't been wiped and was framed by vaguely sexual-sounding motivational workout slogans. Rise and grind, beast mode, feel the heat. I stared at the mirror. Then slipping out a baby wipe from my leather satchel, I wiped my lips, disinfecting them, removing the organic, locally produced lip gloss known as My Guy's Saliva for something more fruity smelling. Look, I've been thinking. I dabbed on my lips with a doe-foot wand. We should cool off with this, you know? I'm busy with uni and the show, and sneaking around has been fun, but you're ending this, Kiki. Really? I flicked my gaze from my reflection to his. Pure disbelief. Brow furrowed, pouty, pink lips slightly agape. It would have been kinda cute if it wasn't based on arrogance. He was topless, his firm body panting, recovering, asking his true question, spilling the real tea. You gonna deny this? Really? The thing is, when you make going to the gym 6 days a week your personality, it must be hurtful when it doesn't melt the knees it's supposed to, fails to work its tried and true magic. But after a while, it just wasn't enough. His body wasn't much of a conversationalist, didn't ask mine what her interests were, her favorite song, which spot was the softest. I looked at his reflection. Okay, let's be real. There was nothing really to end. There was no beginning to this. It just happened and we kept letting it happen. And I'm glad it happened. He got up from the bed, came up behind me and looked at himself in the mirror as he wrapped his arms around my waist, pulling me back against him so I could feel just how glad he was. He looked at us in the mirror. Look at how good we look together. He removed an arm to lift my chin up, as if I'd asked him for help. People respect you. People respect me. Think about how we would rule this place, baby girl. Looks and brains, light and dark. Baby girl. It sounded foreign on his tongue. He'd gone to a boarding school in Sussex where he'd only had white friends, and he was still fleshing out this new flavour to his personality. I raised a brow. Which of us is which? He smiled, tightened his grip around my waist. See? Funny too. It only took a few seconds for his gaze to flit from us to his own reflection. His bottom lip had tucked in. It was honestly like a very uncomfortable threesome where two people were way more into each other than they were you, eventually leaving you to watch them doing their thing, fascinated, I presume. My guy's eyes were still on his own. He kissed my neck. A ping power couple. I bit my lip to keep my laugh in, but from the way his grip tightened on me, I think he misread it as a sign of arousal. Oh man, I knew enough about him, enough was enough, to know he was serious. This had been fun, but I was done. I unwound his arms from around my waist, his weight against me now oppressive. It was kind of disturbing how, despite his heat, I wanted to shudder within my leather jacket. His room smelled of weed, Dior Sauvage hastily sprayed to cover up the weed, and his heady, musky spore that could only be described as boy. The cocktail was making me a little queasy. I picked up my satchel, forcing his arms to drop to his side as I turned to face him. Do you want me, or do you just want me to want you? My guy kissed his teeth and groaned, ran a hand across his face impatiently. Man, for fuck's sake. See, here you go again, Kiki, speaking in riddles. Just be straight with me. I always am. I told you from the jump what this was. You were cool. You said you preferred it. You do you, I do me. My guy looked at me with almost the same intensity that he'd been looking at himself in the reflection a few seconds before. He was doing it again, hoping the fact that his eyes were hazel and his skin caramel were enough to work for him, if I hadn't chosen him specifically because there was no risk of falling for him. I guess it could have worked if I hadn't already bitten into him, felt the crunch and discovered that his sexy was fake. Yeah, but maybe I didn't realize how much I'd like it when I do you. I knew how my guy thought it sounded in his head. His voice had lowered into a purr, his eyes calculated.